Hey everybody, Big Toad here, and today we have some bonus material. I'm calling this number 6.5. I'm just going to show you how I draw my sprites, and I use an ArtRage application on a drawing tablet. And I don't try real hard, as you'll see, but it works for these kind of demonstration type purposes. What you see here was the sprite that I used for idle. That's what I started on, the idle. And I had 3 poses on idle. I'm going to use one of my existing drawings of my character to pattern my new drawing off of. And we're going to be working on a running set of sprites and a falling or jumping set of sprites. This is not intended to be any type of tutorial on my drawing tablet or ArtRage. It is purely just to show you the process I go through to make these quick sprites, and it demonstrates that you can get started without a lot of laborious drawing. If you got a buddy, if you're more into the development side and you have a buddy who likes to do the art side, maybe they can do your sprites for you. So I'm going to dab my source colors, my various shades of color, and I'm going to put some splotches up on the top corner so I can reference those later. That's just an easy way so I can just pick up the colors later with my color picker upper and still have them. So with my color set aside, I have to decide how I'm going to turn this into a running sprite. I'm going to start by erasing that head so I can reposition it. I'll just erase it out of there. Now I'll get me black and I'll work on a head. So I'll draw his big head and then put a nose on there and draw on one of his eyeballs. And there we go. And put a squiggly mouth. I'm not being too precise. I'm going to select the eraser again, and I'm going to erase part of that body. There we go. We'll leave the hands there for a reference for the moment. Now I'll get the black pen, and where am I going to put that neck? Only angle that a little bit and draw that body. I don't think I like that body. I'll undo that. Try again. I'll angle that back, draw that body, and fill that body in. Okay. Now, get an eraser. I don't like that hand where it's at. I'll get my pen and I'll bring an arm forward like he's running. He's got that arm pumped out there forward. And there's a thumb and a hand. Very good. I'm going to use that hand. I think that's in a good position for running. It's back. So we'll do that. Now I'm going to erase these legs. They're not right. Get my black marker and bring that foot way forward in a big stride. Put a foot on there. And then I'm going to curl that foot back, that leg back, and put a foot and flatten it out a little bit like it's touching the ground. Now I'll get my color selector and fill in those hands. And his feet should be the same color as well. I'm going to drop the color in the head first. So we'll get that color selected. Do his head, nose, and eyes. And now I'll do those feet. Alright, I think I'm going to need some action lines, some highlights, making him look like he's running. So I'm going to select one of my colors, and I'm going to get a brush, and I'm going to make a few swishes coming off the heels and the hands and off the back of the head. This guy is moving out. Don't quite like that one. Too big. There we go. Alright, so that gives him some action type swishes off his feet and hands. And I'll erase my color splotches. So that should ready my first pose for my running sprite. I think I'm going to duplicate that now onto another pattern, and I'll make some modifications to it for sprite number 2 of the running pose. I know you couldn't tell, but I did make a duplicate. So now I'm going to start erasing part of this running sprite and make another version of it. I'll start by erasing the body. Kind of leave his head where it's at. Take that out. I kind of want to leave some arms and legs so I remember where things were. Now I want to make another body, and I made his neck a little longer. It's going to make him look like his head's bobbing up and down when I'm done. Alright, erase that leg and foot. I don't want that there. It's got to move. And I'm going to draw in another leg. This it's tucking back in. It's coming back forward in the motion of the run. Alright, I'm going to erase this other leg and foot. It's out of whack, and take away those swishy lines. Get my black, and again, this leg is coming back. So the legs are coming together. The legs get splayed out in the first one, and they start coming together in this one. And then on the next one, they're going to get splayed out again. All right. So now I'm going to color in those feet while I'm here. All right, let's see. I'm going to erase some more. Let's erase those hands. I don't want that hand there at all. Get my black marker, and this hand's going to come out. Whoops, wrong color. Okay, now this hand's going to come out low and tucked into the body. There's his thumb, and there we go, his hand. Now I need to change this other arm, so I'm going to erase it out and go back to my black marker. And this arm curls and then comes forward. All right, you can see the difference in the hands. One hand has a thumb, the other hand's thumb is on the other side, so we can't see it. And that's important, those little parts and pieces. So I'll color in those hands. Now I'm going to save a couple of my colors, make some little splotches up there so I don't lose them. Now we can do a bunch of erasing with those splotches saved. We'll take out the little remaining swish marks and start wiping out part of that head. And let's just get rid of the whole thing. I think I'm going to lower that head so we get that, again, that bobbing motion as he runs. And after it's erased, I can get my black marker and I'll put part of the neck in there and build a head. Well, it's not a perfect circle, but it'll do. Let's erase that little extra little line there. Now, let's put on a nose, put in an eye, put the pupil in there, and then let's bring that mouth back, curling down a little bit and back up. And now we can color in the head. We'll pick up the dark color for the nose and eyes, and then pick up the light color for the rest of the head. And I'm going to fix the back of that head a little bit. Oops, wrong color. Yeah, that looks better. Now fill in that big noggin. There we go. Now I need to add some swish marks to him, like he's really running. I'm going to make both of my poses visible after I get those little swishes in there so you can see. Yeah, see? They're overlapping now. I'm going to use the first position I created. And I'm going to duplicate that for the next one. So it's going to be stretched out the other direction. So I'll move the forward hand to the back and the back hand forward, so we get that long stride going both directions. You should have an idea of what I'm doing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on fast forward as I draw this next one, and kind of do it silently, so you can just watch me as I create another sprite position to give them that movement sense when the flip pick runs. So here is our finished video, and the little guy is running for us. And that is how I make my 2D sprites in animation. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the Big Toad, and I am out.